Welcome back. This episode I unlock the art of making more money by doing less work. I'm busy, so busy. Field 54 picking up the straw. There literally is no rest for the wicked, and I've got the two contractors I've hired working on field 86, I think it is. It's a massive grass meadow and they're working as a team to mow and bale all that grass. I will drop back there in a minute to pick up all those bales on the back of the trailer and get them shipped over where they need to be, but only once I've done all of this straw. Shouldn't take me too long. It was only ever 4 rows, up and down, and that's it. I shall quickly go and grab a trailer and get these straw bales up into our new straw barn. I say new, it's been there from day one. We've just never used it because we've always had loose straw, but new in the sense that we're actually finally making use of it. It's been so long that the weeds are coming through thick and fast. Look at the size of them. Right, I shall head back to the farm and get everything I need. The cultivator is still there. I mean, that's how long ago this job was dealt with. Get those logs in at some point as well. There's so much to do, absolutely. So what I'm going to do is drop this off, come back, and then I'm going to go give the guys a hand and pick up some of those bales they are working on. And you'll see, just when I come out here, I'm going to chuck a left, check for traffic, we're all good, and then we'll see the field is just up here on the right. And they are doing a fantastic job. Yes, I will have to pay them, and yes, I do have to pay for the rental of the equipment. This is the farmer's equipment, but you know what? I think I'm going to make a big packet on this field, and any bales that are left over, such as those ones there, can go into my coffers and we can sell them when it's ready to go. Back at the farm, I'm ready to pick up all of this grass here and turn it into silage bales. But for those of you who have just jumped in, let's have a quick sit rep. It's September, halfway through the month, 12:48 in the afternoon, 10 grand in the bank, and I'm really hoping some of these contracts start to pay dividends very soon. It's time to get this grass in. I've got straw in the baler already, but I don't think that'll be an issue. So header on, header down, we're good. Let's start picking up this grass. So I do think this is the best way forward, given that we have so much loose grass available to us. The silage clamps are absolutely full, or the bunkers as you might call them, so I thought it makes sense to pick this up and start to bale it so that we can sell it directly. Much easier to transport. We can get it on the back of a nice low loader or some sort of wagon and just head it all the way down and get it sold as and when needed. Last little stretch then, didn't take long, this little area at all. I do still think, I'm of the mind that at some point I'm going to put a big warehouse or barn up here to store everything, to store maybe some milk if we can get the tankerage for it, definitely to store all of our cheese and our butter from down at the dairy. We've got plenty of produce from the market garden, so lettuce and strawberries and all of that jazz. So I think having somewhere to store it all makes absolute sense. Right, I'm done. That's all looking great. So I'm going to head round to the next couple of fields. I've got 1, 2 and 3 to do. So let's get my teeth into this one here and just get things done. It does seem like all we have ever done here in the valley is mow grass, and that is because from day one we have had these 3 big grass meadows, and that's great. I mean, we are into animals. We've got cows, we've got sheep, we've got chickens, so we really do need to make sure we've got enough grass, and therefore enough grass for silage and hay. So it is a major part of the operation, but changing things up every now and then, like I'm doing now with wrapping instead of just picking up with a forage picker, will make life just that little bit more interesting. And they always say a change is as good as a rest, but ultimately when we start to make some big money here down in the valley, I'm going to start to inject that money into some other fields, and then we can really start to focus on the crops. Yes, silage is a lucrative business in its own right, but I fancy doing something a little bit more different, and I'm wondering whether cotton and maybe even root veg is an alternative source of income. Now I am going to have to hire a wrapper at some point, but funds being what they are, I've just dropped below 10 grand because I had to fill up some of the vehicles with diesel. Yes, I think what I'll do is I'll cash in these contracts that I've been working on, get the money in the bank, hire the equipment I need to finish these jobs, which will in turn ultimately generate more income down the line. Yes, really am turning things into a proper little business enterprise now. This isn't just hobby farming anymore. This is for real. And that, I think, is everything. Okay, there's a couple of patches. I'm not too worried about those, given that it was just going to grow back and we're going to mow it again. Right, so let's get the pickup off and raised. Fantastic. Now I've got 2 more meadows to pick up, and that's fine. I shall crack on with that. But before I do, I'm just going to have a look at these contracts and see if I can cash any in. The current state of affairs then, field 86, which we've got the guys and girls on now, and they are mowing and baling and taking everything down to the biogas plant. They are 20% of the way through, and that's fine. I shall leave them doing their job. I will pay them at the end of the day and rake in my 26, almost 27 grand. But the cultivating jobs we did earlier this month, they are ready to be cashed in. 7,431, thank you very much. And another one, field 81, which was a fairly sizable field, 8,692. So that gives me a tasty 25, almost 26 grand in the bank. That feels better. Yes, that really does feel better. Okay, I'm going to get myself over to this next meadow here and pick up the grass. As I say, I will hire myself a wrapper. Do you know what? I might have a look in the stores, in the discount stores. If there's one going, I may as well pick one up, especially if this is my new plan. Just having a look at the used vehicle sale just to see what's going on. There's lots of lovely discounted equipment in here, but actually nothing that I am particularly interested in right now. Yeah, there's a couple of disc harrows and the old Grape Liner Series 7000. Got one of those. But yeah, sadly, nothing to do with grass or mowing or wrapping. Okay. In that case, we are just going to have to hire new directly, and that's fine. That will do me for now, but our options are really fairly limited. So we don't want either of these extractor versions because they just create a long sausage, which is of no use to anyone. I think it's going to have to be the SW4014. Yeah, this does the job. We don't need to worry too much. I will change the foil color so that it differentiates it from everything else that we've got going on in terms of contracts, but I think I'll get this hired and down to the farm. £2,754 to get that hired, but we should make that back easily once we start selling our silage in around December, January time. That normally is the best time of year. I've got a few more long rows to do in this particular meadow, and then I shall jump over to that one on the left and get that sorted as well. I think the guys on the contract are virtually finished, so that's great as well. I'm loving having contractors, absolutely loving it. So they've just finished mowing and baling, and I've just asked whether one of them can pop down to the store and pick up and then deliver the wrapper. And they said no problem at all, we get paid whatever we do. So I should have a wrapper delivered here any minute, and just in the nick of time I'd say. This is the last bit. We can get some fertiliser out there on these grass meadows. I also need to worry about the fields as well. There's still plenty to do. Busy, busy, busy. But what I want to do is see if I can squeeze in just one more lucrative grass contract before I have to send those guys home. I'm just waiting for my delivery of my bale wrapper, and I've just been notified via message on my phone that we have finished a contract and made a little bit of cash. So they must have had some surplus already, which is brilliant. Field 86, baling completed, 25,398. I'll collect that. Thank you very much. And that puts me on a cool 62,000. This is definitely the way forward. I've got the wrapper on the back with lovely green wrap, so that will make a difference between that and the white bales. Now, the chap said that there are 4 or 5 bales left on that previous contract which we can pick up. They were surplus, so I'll grab those up at some other point. But they are all heading down to field 89, or should I say across, because it's in the west of this area. And they are going to do a final contract, and this is a biggie, so I'm hoping we have enough lights. But it's worth 20 grand, and I'm thinking we're going to get a huge amount of surplus again, so I'm curious to see if we can break 100 grand just in 1 month's load of work. Well, the inaugural wrapping of bales down at the Valley Farm is underway, and it's working well. One of the guys is coming down in the JCB to pick up the wrapper that I'm using now. I'm hoping that he won't be delayed. I'm just rushing through this as quickly as possible. I mean, these bales are, yes, they are the limiest of all lime greens you could possibly get in terms of a wrap. It's kind of cool, almost luminous. At least it means I can work at night if I need to. Oh, I completely missed that because I'm talking to you lot. Back up. Come on, Crimson. Get your head back in the game. Right, that's the last one. I shall shift on to the next meadow. That's the biggest field, so it shouldn't take me anywhere near as long. Let's get over here and push on, because old JCB John will be here any minute. One thing I do need to remember is to go and pick up those straw bales from the forest field, field 50 whatever. I will forget about them and I'll end up going down there to cultivate, and then I'll have a load of bales in the way, so I must remember to do that. Otherwise, this job is going okay. Oh, I can see a JCB in the distance there. Yeah, he's up there waiting. Okay, I shall just go and finish this field and I'll give him a shout. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer. I wonder if I can get him to go and sort out the straw for the cows. That's a job that needs doing. Right, let me go have a chat and see if I can keep him busy for the next 15 minutes. Yeah, lovely fella. He's not called John at all. His name's Brett. Really happy, jovial. He said he can help out, no problem at all. So he's going to go stick that straw, hopefully into the cows. I'm going to get on with this baling, and we should both be finished around the same time. one more to do, and that is it. That is my wrapping job done for this month. Let's just get alongside this one, close enough that I don't miss it. Get in there we go. Right, pull forward, get that folded. There we go. Okay, let's yeah, that's it. Everything is done. I'll get the wrapper over to Brett, who is parked up over there somewhere, ready to go. And then I'm very tempted to kick my boots off and call it a day. The only thing left to do is check in on the rest of the team and see how they're getting on. Coming up to 4 o'clock, and it does feel like we have had a very, very busy month here in September. Lots of baling, lots of wrapping, lots of contract work, which has definitely proven to be the way forward if I'm going to make some serious money around here. I've still got some fields to tend to, got to decide what I'm going to do with this one. I've got the one down in the forest, I've got to get some logs into the sawmill. But yeah, in terms of the grass, everything is looking fantastic. Look at those things. Neon green, lime. I mean, they look almost like they're, well, like they're radioactive. Little bales of gold they are. Little lime bales of gold. Radioactive lime bales. That's it. That's the title I was looking for. So I'll get these picked up in due course. I need to get some fertilizer on these meadows to make sure we get the best grass possible. And hopefully, when it comes to selling day, this is going to pay absolute dividends. Just look at the amount of bales out there. Hundreds. And that is where I'm going to leave it this time around. The contractors are very nearly finished mowing and baling and wrapping on field 89. That surplus is going to be sweet when it hits my bank account. I think next month we're going to be focusing on more contracts and definitely some field work. I've also got to plan ahead for the next couple of months. So until then, leave a comment, hit that big thumbs up button if you can find it. But take care everyone, I'll see you real soon. Bye bye.